I am blessed to have a phenomenal streamer that you guys are very familiar with. And we had some conversation that we had to have about the Philly show that we both attended at the same time. We're going to get into that. But of course, this is the man, the myth, the legend, the only place where the lightning strikes more than one time, Mr. Travis Wiley, Trap Vision 3D. What's up, sir? How are you?
What's happening, bro? What's happening?
That was a long intro. Uh, Yeah, man. So look, we both attended the Philly show. Look, I want to say this off the bat. I'm a little. I was. It was bittersweet for you to surprise me, and I'll tell you why, bro. Because if you had told me ahead of time that you were coming, I would have showed up early, bro, and I would have showed up with some watches, and maybe we could have got the battle, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
But it was
yeah,
still nice that you surprised us, man. That was super dope.
yeah,
That was super dope.
yeah, bro. I wasn't going to come because the week before I had went to Godfather's, man, and I was looking at the funds, bro. You know what I'm saying? Travel funds, but
Yeah,
I made it work, and you know what I'm saying? All right, we gonna make it do what it do.
I hear you. I hear you.
So
Lone Ranger's in the
yeah,
building. What's going on, bro?
Long Range is in the building. What's
So
up,
let's
baby?
let's let's get the wrist checks out of the way, man. I got the Casio Edifice Automatic. That's my weekend watch. I love this thing. It's gotta go. Got the strap on there, and then the F91W because you know I double wrist. What do you got on, sir?
Double wristing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Well,
always.
you know what? I just got through walking, man. I got on my X Factor. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that Hamilton khaki crosswind, baby. Come on, man. Everything. Listen, I say everything that Hamilton got, even if it's not khaki, is khaki.
Yes, sir.
That,
Yes,
that
sir. I
yep.
need me a Murph, man. I need me a Murph somewhere down the line. That's how I want to do the khaki version. The Murph is super dope. It's attached to the movie, as you know. So that's gonna be my route when I'm ready to go that route. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
super dope watch, bro. Very nice. So the Philly show, dude. Let's talk about it, man. What was your overall feeling about the show, bro? What did you take away from it? How did you feel about it? What were your expectations beforehand and everything else?
Okay, so like so last year when you did it, you did the musical selection. I was like, okay, it looked like it was more intimate, and you were able to actually sit and talk to these people. You know what I'm saying? So because I automatically go to wind up when
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because wind up is crazy, right?
yeah.
So I might have to pull this in because that wind's picking up.
You
Good
got a
grief!
gust. It's
Yeah,
chiming.
that was crazy. But so I knew that it was gonna be intimate coming off the rip.
Yeah,
I looked and seen how many watches. Like, I looked ahead of time. I was looking
right.
because I had subscribed to the channel, or whatever, and I really wanted to see and talk to some people that I hadn't talked to. So when I walked in and saw it, I was like, okay. I said this is gonna be great because I can take my time. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like that was the biggest thing. Um, and granted, I want to know more companies as much as I possibly can. Sometimes, and one thing I will say that I like about it that it wasn't overwhelming. Cause wind up,
Mm,
bro, it's a lot to look at. It's a
yeah.
lot to do. The energy is crazy, and like my back wasn't hurting at the end. Like, bro, when you try to film and then look down at watches and walking around, bro, back your
Yeah.
posture, bro, you be jacked up. So I actually thought it was pretty dope. Um, and I seen some familiar faces and some not so familiar faces, but I would like to see. I could see this. My expectations that actually hit my expectations, what I thought it was going to
Mm,
be, and but the other thing too is I see the potential for growth
yeah. Yeah.
because it's so close to New York. You know what I'm saying? Like you got, bro. Because I was like, yo, New York is just like right there.
Yeah.
So I could see some other brands coming out there, bro.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure, for sure. And I got that also. I got that impression as well. As you said, the year before, very intimate. This year, still intimate, right? We had Mark Time, Isotope, Galvin Watch Company, Vidir watches,
Vidor, yep,
52080. Yeah, 52080 watch company was super dope. Tom Lennon and Co. Look, dude, I think that was the one brand that I missed, if I'm not mistaken. I was so mad that I didn't get him, bro, because it was the only company I think I missed. Second
yeah,
hour was represented by the main guy, Chris, his Virage shop, right? So he had some
right,
watch spread there. We had who else? Richard Harvey watches
Yep.
boutique, Henrich watches, Barrage of course because that was Chris's company. Jack Turner watches, and Black Weiser, which was pretty much bracelets and everything else. And I think there was a luxury watch box brand as well.
Yeah.
So
In the
they
front.
had a
Yep.
few people there, man. And one thing that I've learned after talking to Chris and his son, the curators of the show itself, was how much goes into cultivating and gathering the brands at the show, getting them to commit. Like we had a lot of information on behind the scenes from Long Island Watch and what goes into showing up at a watch show.
Right.
I was slightly disappointed not to see some names that I saw from last year. I'm not going to call them out, but it is what it is. But at the same time, with me feeling that way, dude, it's an expense, right? A lot of those brands that were
Right.
there last year, it's not an easy travel for them. They're not a local. So I get it, but I think that the biggest message that you and I could spread is for those who are fans of brands that they would like to see in Philly, especially if they're local to Philadelphia, then they should really reach out, send an email to the brand, say that they would really love to see them at the show, especially when it gets closer to that time, and try to get some more brand names that are out there. That being said, I had a great time because we had
Yeah.
time to talk to everybody. And as I
Yep.
was doing my live stream, everybody was open to getting on camera and talking, even if they weren't super comfortable with that. They put the effort into doing it regardless because they understood that that's what you're there for. And you should want that kind of exposure and, take the opportunity. So I was really glad that everybody was gravitating towards that. Did you get that impression as well? Like, was everybody
Oh yeah.
welcoming at each
Oh
lemonade
yeah.
stand?
Yeah.
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 And I
I
learned,
will say this.
good.
I was disappointed. You talking about? I wanted to see. Man, I thought Sal Baltimore was gonna show up, bro. I really wanted Sal there, bro. Like,
Yeah, I
yo,
know. I
I
know. They
had
were
my
one of the
Sal
big names.
Baltimore there. I had my piece with me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was on deck with it. Feel me? But that was. I wanted to see them so bad. But
Yeah.
he was off buying new companies and stuff like that. For me, because I know you got the news of what they just bought. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, but that was the one thing that I wish I could have got. But for the most part, they were. And the Richard Harvey,
Hmm.
my man, I'm like, my man was talking, but I'm like, bro, breathe. Bro, he was like, he was, I was like,
He was
yo,
going. Yeah.
yo.
Yeah.
I said, man, he was, it's crazy. I listened to his presentation and he
Hmm.
went from here to there to there to there to there to there to there. And I was like, I'm following along. I said, okay, I don't have any questions, bro. You just hit like you hit everything, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you got a
Luciano's in the
question?
building.
You got a question
Yeah.
from J
J
Rob?
Rob, how do you feel about Seiko price hikes? Honestly, I'm kind of numb to price hikes at this point, J Rob. I kind of expect it from almost every brand at this part, whether or not they're, getting their parts and the tariffs. And just listen, inflation and everything else with the economy, dude. At this point, it doesn't really rub me the wrong way, only because I've accepted the fact that I'm going to pay more money for whatever watch that I'm potentially interested in. So, it is what it is. I know it's tough for some people to swallow that pill because Seiko isn't giving us more. The price is just going up and they're a little bit slower to reaction. Travis, you've given us the fact that manufacturing on their end is a bigger scale, right? We're talking about recalibrating machines and hundreds of $1,000s of work to be able to do so. So we kind of understand it in that point. But yeah, man, honestly, to me, I'm numb to it. Travis, how do you feel?
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I
I'm
know.
gonna say this. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
this. For imagine, sometimes I do think about like CEOs and presidents of companies are looking at YouTube and seeing what's being said out here, right?
Right.
And I can picture them saying like, well, you guys have no idea what it takes for us to run this business, so it's easy for you to say whatever.
Right.
But I'm going to tell the honest truth. As a consumer, don't care. As a consumer, I don't care because I know that I want the product. If I think it's worth the money, I'll pay for it off top.
Mm,
But you
right.
said something. You have to give me something that's worth the money. You have to give me something worth the price hikes. Like for example, I
Right.
think Squale is a great brand. But the fact that they keep going up and there's nothing new added to it. Now the cost of business for them, all right, you have to figure something out. Because as a consumer, I'm going to just say, okay, cool. You want to raise prices? My attention is somewhere else, and that's all.
Mm.
That's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna refocus, repurpose. Because guess what? When it comes to dive watches, at the point, they're coming a dime a dozen now.
Right.
There's a new company that's built every day. There's something that's doing some wacky stuff, some crazy colors. Uh, Eddie's Dive, the whole AliExpress. You can go over there. Sam Martin gets like $250 to $500 can get you a phenomenal dive watch at this point.
Yeah.
It don't have the heritage, but who the heck cares about heritage at that point? Oh, them people dead. Them people go long gone, man. The owners, the creators of these watches, gone.
Yeah.
That's one thing
Yeah.
I do like about micro brands now. But and then on top of that, it's not like the CEO of Seiko is gonna come. Hey, Skyler, I want to come on live with you, buddy. I want to talk about it. Let's get it. I get that. Yes, sir.
Oh
I feel
boy.
that one. You feel
Yeah.
that one? Yeah, I know y'all
Yeah. I
felt that
saw
one.
that one.
Man, that about knocked me down. It literally pushed me out. Like, yo,
I saw it. Lone
that's
Ranger
crazy.
says, I do not have to buy another watch. I'm glad I have what I have. Yeah, dude. Lone Ranger, that's a good point as well, man. I think that that is also leaning into like what Travis said is very true. I think that with a price increase, there has to be some kind of coverage to offset that, whether it be you give us more or you also try to combat that, right? If you look at the stuff that we see with Christopher Ward, they came back after they had to, of course, come up in price, right? They couldn't consume it, but then they found a way by opening up their showrooms and making things more local and everything
Yeah,
else. So they had a plan in motion to offset that. You're not going to see that with the bigger brands that are bigger than Christopher Ward, if we're talking Seiko. But I think Seiko's been upstream even before all of the mess. And for
yeah,
me, for one, I think you're right, bro. I think it's going to affect how I make a decision, but I'm also at a very, you know, I'm at a very particular position in collecting where I'm being very selective about what's going into my watch collection anyway. So I think that that's the reason why I'm kind of like, it is what it is. I could be mad at it and I could refocus, like you said. But ultimately, what am I going to do if somebody's saying their watch is worth this? And, at this point, I could just not buy. I vote with my non purchase, if you will. Right. So
yeah.
that's where I'm at with that for sure. For sure. But going back to the show, man, yeah, I get what you're saying, man, and I for one, as far as how the brands represented themselves, and I think that for the most part, at least with my interactions, they represented themselves very well, but there
Yeah.
were mistakes made. There were mistakes made. There was a particular brand. Again, I don't want to necessarily shout out and make things negative, but there was a particular brand that had their watches in a case, and when you go to these shows, when you attend it, it may have been the person's first show, so I'll let them off with a slide, but when you go to these fairs, when you go to these, especially the web-based brands, the watch enthusiast brand shows, you got to have your watches out for people to touch and feel. And you shouldn't have any watches, in my opinion, in any kind of showcase, nothing to block it. It should all be accessible for people to grab, put on their wrist. You know what I mean? Hold the watch and everything else. Aside from that, dude, everybody represent themselves very well, articulated themselves very well, and I was pretty happy with that.
So you know what? I know what brand you're talking about. I thought that was weird, but I think after talking to him and looking at the price points and what he brought to the table, I can only imagine that he was going for, hey, these are not just your typical watches. These
Mm,
are heirlooms. Like I think he wanted to his whole point was to show how prestigious these watches were. Now,
right, right.
with that being said, you run a dangerous game with a consumer like me and somebody like me, right? Because it's like, okay, because the price point kind of threw me based on what he had. Now
Yeah.
the designs I thought were pretty dope, and they reminded me of two other watches that's
Okay.
in existence. However, one of the GMT they had, I think that was super dope because the window it was like airplane windows for the numbers, I thought that was pretty dope. The design was amazing. It's just the price. The price
Yeah.
that you're asking for, and you got an NH34 in there for a world timer, and I'm like, that's steep. When you had
Mm,
5280 over there, that had a dial, very unique dial. You
yeah.
like a Rose engine was used for that lacquer, the whole heat treatment, and I think like, and then you still using like an ETA based movement.
Right.
I'm like, and again, that when I see prices, I automatically look at it, see if it's worth. Like, okay, would I wear this? Would I invest in this? Uh, Let me see what else out there. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I mean, keep in mind, I bought a world timer with a 90. What is it? It has a Miyota 9015 or yeah 9015 in it, and I paid $500 for that watch, four
Mm,
twenty or something like that. And I'm like, so I got a high beat movement, world timer. This company's been in business since 2005. It's one of the elder micro brands.
right.
I'm like, bro, this is your competition.
Yeah.
This is your competition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I think for sure. Yeah. The price point. You have to look at what else is out there because it's a super competition in the micro brand space for sure. Unless you're coming out with something that no one else has. But even still, even more so based on what we said about how we're looking at our buying power with the price hikes, all of those things are going to factor in for sure, right? It's going to be even more selective as that goes. Noctua Watches is in the building. Luciano, I think I said hi. I'm not sure. How are you, sir? Lone Ranger says some of Christopher Ward's prices went up and did not come back down to what it was as of this week when I checked. And it may be some select items, some things that they couldn't come back down on. I'm not sure, but I know they did a whole release, about bringing the percent. It wasn't the full percentage. I think it was close to the higher 30%, and they brought back like 20 and change. But yeah, it could be possible that some pieces that they're just not able to do for sure. But at least they're making that effort on some of the pieces for sure. And it's just a slippery slope that we're in right now in the market for
yep.
sure. Thelonious Monk is in the building. What's going on, bro? Yo, so let's
What
talk
up,
big fish
y'all?
in a small pond, bro. Who are the big fish
Okay.
there? And I think you know who I'm talking about. How did they present themselves to you? And yeah, man, what was your take on that? I'll let you go first.
Well. I think 5280 always represents um, isotope. Yes, sir. I like isotope.
Yeah.
Isotope. But the main attraction that I came for really was Mark Time, right?
Yes,
I think
sir. A
I
boy.
think I think at the end of the day, for everybody that offered something, right?
Yeah.
Um, he would be the takeaway for me. The
Yeah.
prices were great, phenomenal. But I told you the one thing that I think is amazing. He'll tell you, I make these watches for me. I don't care about what you think. Now give me your money right there. Put it right
Yeah,
there in the
but
palm.
but at the same time, bro, what I love about Mark Time is that he does the shows, and he even said it when we did our quick interview on the live stream. He was like, I would get feedback and I would hate to hear what they had to say, but I realized that they were right. So I made those changes because I
Adjustments,
understood
yep.
that, yeah, those adjustments were important if I want to satisfy the market. Because at the end of the day, yes, he made it towards what he loves and what he feels inside, but you're putting them on the market. If you're making one offs for yourself and you're making a custom piece unique, okay, cool if it's for you. But at the end of the day, you got to make the market happy. You got to be within that
Yep.
price range. You got to do that development from the feedback on the enthusiast. And I think Mark Time is showing his now maturity, right, in being there for so long, and also his response ability, not
Yeah.
responsibility as one word, but his response ability to what is getting feed to him at the shows itself. And his M6 is perfect. His M6 is perfect as far as the spec sheet goes and what you expect out of that timepiece for its class. And I think the price point is just right. So he has arrived with that M6. And for me, it's like, all right, we saw so many iterations of this watch now, dude. It's time to move on. And he knew that. He said that himself. His wife gave him feedback on it, even. And so I'm excited to see what the next timepiece is because Now he's going to get away from that design now that he's done so many changes to it. And I'm
Yep, yep.
excited to see where he goes altogether for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know what? It was for me. I told him. I said, I think that watch is like looking at a painting, right? The
Mm,
artistic design. It's like it's not your typical. Let me get a banana and just put it on dry board or something like that, and
right.
I want $50 million for it. That is a very appealing design. The
Yeah.
M6 is appealing. The colorways are great. I love it on strap and bracelet. I think I like it more on bracelet. I mean, on the strap than bracelet, which is
Mm,
crazy. Which I know was the last year's model, but and I am looking forward to seeing what it is. But I go off of energy too.
yeah.
For an event, bro, he had the energy. You know what I'm saying? He was like inviting. I don't know. It was like, and not to say that with the Heinrich and Henry Archer, the curator was facilitating. He was playing host, so he
Yeah.
couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Sure.
that was the one thing I would say if I had to give an improvement. It was like, hey, you got to have a dedicated source over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, really hyping the brand up, giving us information on it because it's hard for you because he had to take pictures, he had to go and talk to people. And when I walked in, he was so curious. He was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Hey, I was making sure I was in the right place." He said, "Oh yeah." He gave me some information and kept it moving.
Right.
So that's when I walked across the street and I saw you and your wife walking down. I was like,
I
I said,
gotcha.
"Let me go hide." I was like, but
Yeah.
5280
Hmm.
again. Rich and his wife, two amazing people. They'll actually be here
Yeah.
next week, or the week after
Oh,
next
nice.
for the Kokomo show. But I look at what's affordable, right? What's
Hmm.
introduction to the market because I think 5280, his pieces are not designed for a first time collector.
Oh,
It's
for
for
sure.
somebody that you've been in for a while, you want something, you want a piece unique, you're gonna drop $3,000-4,000 on this watch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Same thing with Isotope. Isotope is one that it could be a full first time collector, somebody that like that's really weird because those
Right.
designs are very unique. But again, when you look at the watch, you're like, hey, I like it. What's the price? 5,200 or 3,800? Okay. I wasn't looking, but that's why I like remark time. Even again,
Yeah.
if there was more representation at the Heinrich and other table with second hour, because second hour, bro, they watches a fire
Oh
off
yeah.
top.
Oh yeah.
We know what they are already, but EMAC in the building, what's happening? Uh,
Eric Mack.
yeah, man. And then I'm gonna say this, bro, because I know you like to play it safe, but
Yo, why you out me like that, bro? Hold on,
I'm
man.
sorry.
Cut the
I'm
live
sorry.
off. Cut the live off. What do you mean? I
No,
like to. I am very diplomatic. I'll admit it. I am very diplomatic. I'm like a
and
politician. I try to be nice.
I love that about you, bro. Hey, I'm with you. I support you wholeheartedly. But let me just be the odd
Go
duck in
ahead.
the room.
Go ahead.
And like
Good
when you
cop, bad
walk
cop.
in, hey, I'll be bad. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so my thing was when you first walk in, I think it's pretty dope that you're getting greeted with storage, right? You had a
Mm,
watch case that you could have got. Plus, you get a watch with it. May not be the best looking watch, but you still get a watch with it. I think that was a great buy. But then you go over to the right, and this guy has a bunch of vintage watches, a bunch of
yes.
used pre-owned pieces, and a lot of his pieces were priced at the same cost as the like brand new. I was like, yo, what's that about? Like, did you come here to showcase or you came here to like get your coins, bro? And I'm not knocking it. Like, I don't know how much money you had into the watches, but I was like, yo, like I was looking at the Oris and some other stuff. I said, yo, that's the same price. I can go buy if I will a deal. I can go buy this watch from Joma Shop. I can go buy this watch locally for the same price you're asking for over here. So I'm like, I'm just yeah, it was just a couple that was questionable. Am I froze? Are we still good? Can y'all hear me? Oh, am I lost? Cause look like my man froze. Is it me or is it him? Tell me some people. Put it in the chat. Can y'all see me still? Can y'all hear me? Okay, y'all can hear me. So he froze. Can y'all hear him? Oh man, I think we lost him. What time is it? I think we lost him, or we lost each other. It's him. Okay. Ah, the show must go on though. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, and now I know how you feel when you get a phone call. My dang phone overheated again. Again. Anyway, let's go right back into it. You're talking about the used market section. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right, all right. I didn't care for the prices. I'm just keeping it
Okay.
100. I didn't care for the price. They were too high. And very lovely family. I enjoyed that. You know what I'm saying? But I say couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
Got you.
Um, and then again, right across from him, you had a new guy. I mean, he's not new. He's been doing it for a minute. Shoot, I think he's been in the market for at least 9 years or something like that. I've never heard of him until I just got there. And then let me see, was it Tomlin watches and what was the other time something on that right side? There were a few watch Tomlin and Co. Yeah, 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 yeah. I've never heard of them before. Which um, I thought it was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Price point. Ah, right, right.
So sorry. Whatever event you do, let me know. I got you. I'll make sure to cover you. But yeah, you had experience. I know you went by his table, and I
Yeah.
honestly I don't know too much. What was the thing about the watches? What was his kind of playbook?
So it was like moon phases, quartz moon phases, entry level luxury, entry level luxury. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And again, um, I loved it for the fact of like that. What I got from him was the whole entrepreneurial vibe
okay.
off top, the whole entrepreneurial vibe and his story. And I actually was looking at his Instagram feed and stuff like that, and I said, okay,
Yeah.
this guy, he legit. He's legit.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So I could support from that angle. And yeah, but for the most part, I'll still say my takeaway was Mark Time. Mark Time was that was it for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what, bro. And those were the big three, right? We mentioned the Mark Time, 5280, and Isotope, of course. Isotope shocked me with how playful their watches were.
Yeah.
Of course, Isotope watches are also very serious, as he said to me in our live stream. But I was surprised about how not only fun, but how creative and how
Yeah.
customizable they're starting to go. So that's a very interesting direction to see them go in that. But yeah, I would give it to Mark Time for sure in that show. And in the future, I just want to see the show grow because it's in our backyard. I think it has a lot of potential. And going back to your comment about the curator and everything else, I'm sure it's not easy to have to wear so many hats. I know he had his
Oh yeah.
son also helping out, but they were also just kind of figuring it out and kind of being a
Yeah.
little all over the place. But fantastic guys, and my hats off to them to even curating such a thing because it's all about the access to us and us being able to enjoy. Here go my politician thing again. Now I know what you're talking about. Now I'm more aware of it.
It's all good,
Eric
bro. It's
Mack
all
says,
good.
Eric Mack says how I like how the two of you guys at the watch box table were flexible and willing to customize a case for you. I asked if they could make one for
For
straps.
straps.
Okay. And what was the answer for that, Eric Mack? Were they able? I'm sure that they could do something like that. I think the biggest thing was they were really into the type of material and color and matching the car paint and just giving you a very
Yeah.
luxurious feel. But I would imagine that it wouldn't be too difficult to make that into a strap case instead. And that's actually a really good idea, Eric Mack, for how long that case is. You could fit a bunch of straps in that for sure. So I'm with you on that point.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah,
bro,
you
I
know
know I
what?
don't have you for too much time. Go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I would love to see Laurier pop up in there too, because I mean Laurier, that's New York. And
Oh,
then here's another
yeah.
one, Deep Blue, bro. Like Deep Blue is such a viable act, and I have never seen
Mm.
Deep Blue, so I'm actually, I mean, yo, I'm a tag Deep Blue. Do
Yeah.
something, bro. Like, come to a show. You a sell, bro. Like, because he got some stuff, man. Like, he does the NH movements. He does the Swiss movements. So, and he has a phenomenal. And he right there. He in New York, bro.
Yo, and I'll tell you what, by you saying that, yeah, I'm over here saying that, oh, hey guys, send emails out. You should be doing that and say, look, come to that show. We'll make sure that we attend. We're going to do the recording thing and we're going to do
Yep.
the whole coverage and everything else. Bro, there's a whole list of names. Matter of fact, everybody in New York, we could get Brew, Laurier, Autodrome, Deep Blue. I think Deep Blue is a very good dude. When you talk about a new show
Yep.
and I for sure would love to see all the New York brands and all the Philly brands because there were some Philly brands that are local that didn't even show up as well. So we definitely got to fill those seats, and
Yeah.
by seats I mean the vendors themselves.
Yeah. 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 And then too, it's Philly. It's so much to do there. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I loved it,
Yeah.
man. I enjoyed it, man. So I think it's a good vibe. I want to see more of it. And when I will attend next year's, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm,
from here, from now until next year, I will be tagging these guys like, yo, y'all need to come out there. Like off top. You know what I'm
sure,
saying? Shoot, even my man Phil from Visitor. I'm like, hey bro, you need to pop in. You know what I'm saying?
that'd
Like,
be great.
hey,
Yeah.
he could ride. I'll bring him up. You know what I'm saying? Jump in the truck, throw your stuff in the back. I got a suburban, man. Just you ain't got to worry about it.
I'll
You
help
know what
you
I'm
out.
saying?
Yeah, but also too, I do understand that out of the names that we just gave, they're going to be at the New York windup, and we know that's a pretty penny. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
respectfully, I understand that it has to be in the budget, but I would imagine. But dude, that's a very. I'm definitely going to attend next
Yeah.
year. And I'm definitely going to send. We both need to send emails and tag the same people and let them know. Listen, there's going to be cameras at this event. There's going
Yeah.
to be people that are great people that are on this stream and watch these lives that are going to be attending in that fashion. So as far as exposure and what you're getting out of it is worth it too for sure.
Yeah. And then inviting more people too. You know what I'm saying? Getting that word out because I was reading through your comments. It was people in Philly didn't know that show existed.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
It
and then
needs
what's your
time to
point?
it needs time to marinate. It needs time to
It
marinate.
do
It just
because it's
people
just
got to
year
learn
two.
about it.
This is just year two, right?
Yeah, just you too, dude. That's why I'm like, listen, if this was year 10, like wind up,
Yeah. Yep. 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 That's it, bro. Woo. Woo.
my man Stephen Lee's watch on there, bro. Dufresne, I was
Yeah.
so dude. I had to send him a text. I literally sent him a text. Congratulations for getting on the channel and at least being up there. He didn't win. He didn't
Nope.
get. He wasn't the first watch to get cut either. But shout out to
He was
Stephen
number
Lee.
5.
He was number 5. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. One more, and it would have went on Mr. Wonderful's wrist, man. And I'll tell you what, all these brands they should have played the ace in the hole, and the ace in the hole is the red band, man. They just should have strapped the band on their watch, like,
Yeah.
or at least gave them an option. You know what I mean? But here's the watch, and I want to get your take on what watch. But dude, did you see the Traska watch? Did you like it? Because yo, if I was sitting in the car when I was watching it, I would have fell down. I like that thing. I like it a
Yeah.
lot, bro. I like the design, and I want to learn more. But I know it was a prototype, I think, at that point on that show. But yeah, man, what was the watch for you? What was the watch for you out of everything on the list, if any?
That Trasco was amazing. I didn't agree with Mr. Wonderful's take on it. In some cases, I feel like his imagination falls flat. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm,
it is a prototype, and the fact that I think I gave them more points towards, hey, this isn't a working product, but
yeah,
this is on the way. And you had the balls to put that up there, and it wasn't a working product. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
right.
like, yo, the design was amazing. Denison, I've seen that Denison in person. I think it's a great watch. I don't think it's over the Waterloo at all because I think
Nah.
the Waterloo is one of the dopest. I mean, that hammered dial. I've
Oh
liked the
my
Waterloo
God.
from the first time I saw it. So I
Yeah.
would have said that should have been in the final four. So I personally don't agree with that. Um, and then I'm biased too because I think Dufresne is a great company of all the companies that's up there. Not to so much like I think honestly that Traska prototype would have been my takeaway because I know Traska does the treatment 1200 Vickers. So
Right.
not only
Right.
are you
Right.
getting a new look, it's something different than what they have because I know what they have. I said, yo, I like that. That's design, bro. And I think I would like to know what the final price will be on that watch. But until that, I would say that would have been my like that should have won. In my
Yeah.
personal opinion, I think that should have won over everything else. It got cut too early. That Denison, because I'm all for quartz. I got a number of quartz pieces, but it's a quartz,
Right.
and that
Yeah.
shouldn't have in that decision making. I would have picked either the Trasker or the Waterloo to be the last two.
Yeah.
So, and I doubt Mr. Wonderful will see this, but I don't agree with you, sir. I think you are completely wrong. I'll be the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy. I
Nah.
mean,
Nah.
because
I'm
he
with
said
you.
he is a
I'm
Dow
with you.
guy. He said he's a Dow guy, and there were some
Right.
pieces that he passed on, and I was like, really,
Yeah.
really. Now I
I
knew.
had the
Now
same
you know
reaction.
what? I'm gonna tell you this because I love Cincinnati Watch Company as a whole, but I knew they were that diver wasn't going to make it in the final cut. I
Mm,
knew it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen it in person. When I went out to the event, I love that watch. But I'm like, that's not gonna make it. I knew it wasn't. You have
mm,
to come with it with a dive watch. You have to come with it. You have to come with
yeah.
it, especially if we're talking dials. That watch is an amazing watch. I like it. It fits real well. I had it on, and I would even consider getting it. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I would say my final two. I would have chose the Waterloo no, I think I would have went with Traska, that prototype over
Mm,
everything.
yeah.
That's me personally.
Man. Yo, you stole my thunder because that's exactly the direction I was. Dude, when the Waterloo didn't make it to the final four, I'm like, how? How? You're all about the dial. Do you not get closer to that watch, please? Because that dial is insane. And then that Trasco watch, as you said, look, it's not even about prototype and them having the goal to bring up the prototype. Even if prototype or not prototype, bro, it was super fucking nice. It was really, really
Yeah,
nice. Excuse my
that
language.
that was a nice.
And
No, you good.
and I wish it did have like somewhere maybe a little bit of pop of color, but I don't even care because it's still the configuration and actually how it functions was super dope. And yeah, man, I think those two would have been my final two for.
For it to be in a plain Jane, that thing was phenomenal. Stupid. Woo! Woo!
But I gotta get the watch in hand. I'm really hoping that Traska brings it to the show, whether it's still prototype or not. I want it on wrist because yeah, man. For me, for me, that might take the funding for the Belcantos directly. And I might, bro, because I'm thinking that the price point, I forget. I think Teddy said 1,000, but it wasn't USD, right? So maybe the conversions make maybe a couple of hundred. So they're about pretty affordable relative.
About
So
1,200,
yeah, I'm thinking 12,
maybe. Yeah.
13 at that price. Oh yeah, the Belcantos gonna have to wait. I'm still gonna get the Belcantos, but it's gonna have to wait. It definitely stealing some thunder from it for sure, bro. I really love that thing
Uh,
from that far away.
man.
So I can only imagine. What do you think?
Yeah. Hey, tag Trasker in this. Hey, put a porcelain dial in it, Trasker. Put a
Yeah.
porcelain dial in it. Put a porcelain. You just play around with some dial
Oh, you
configurations,
said
man.
porcelain? Porcelain? Oh my god, that would be ridiculous, bro. Oh my
For their
god.
watch, bro. For their watch, that
Yeah.
particular watch,
Oh my
porcelain
god.
dial,
Yes. Yeah.
porcelain.
A nice white porcelain or any color at that point, man. Just that pop, that sheen. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They got to do something like that. If they do that, oh, 100%. But even still, bro, I'll be honest with you. If it is the way it is, it still has a very
It's
strong
still
fighting
still fire.
chance.
Still
Yeah,
fire.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And how much time we got, bro? It's okay. You could be real with me. How much
I,
time we
I
got?
I got I got 2 minutes, bro. Two
All right,
minutes.
we're gonna land this plane. Jack Mason just gave us a teaser. I want to ask you. This just popped in my head. I want to ask you, man. Is that a field watch or is that a diver watch, man? I want it to be a diver. What's going on? What's going on? Tell me. What do you think?
Bro, I think it's gonna be a field watch because when we were talking in DC, I think they trying to peel away from the diver so much, and I think that's gonna be a field watch, bro. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be field, bro. It's gonna be
Have a lot of
fire.
maturity in it's gonna be fire regardless. I mean, you
It's gonna
could
be
just see
fire.
from the loom shot, man, the composure, and it's gonna have a bezel. I don't know if it's gonna be rotating, I'm sure. You don't see that often with field watches. And I went back to their archives. So originally when I saw that, I saw the bezel. I got too hyped. I got too excited. I thought it was going to be the Hydro revamp. But I went back to their archives, and if you look at their field watches, they have the same composure with the indices and the numbers underneath it. Now they're
Yep.
adding that bezel. So for sure, you're right. It's going to be a field watch, I'm sure, and it's going to still be fantastic. But yo, Jack Mason, if you're listening, you have fans waiting for the Hydro as well. So
Bring
please
back
let
the
that be the next.
hydro.
Yeah,
Bring
bring
back the
back the
hydro.
Hydro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on.
but I can't wait to see that field watch. It's going to be phenomenal for sure. For sure.
All right, bro. Hey, I got to peel
All
out of
right,
here
man.
because
Yeah,
I'm about
that's
to jump in the truck and go.
I hear you, bro. That's all I had anyway. So, as always, ladies and gentlemen, Travis, thank you so much for joining me to recap the Philly show and everything else.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, as always, Travis and I appreciate you guys for spending your most valuable asset, which is time, and we'll hopefully see you in the next one. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Peace.